thank you all once again for all being here. Much appreciated for you all being here. As I said, normally I do go over some comic books that I picked up for the weekend. Here's one of them I want to discuss really quick. Was Major X issue number 2. Now, I'm not sure if you guys have been keeping up with this series. It did just launch a couple of weeks ago with issue number 1, and I am going to do an actual review on that. In case you didn't catch my show the other day, my local comic shop did give me a copy of it to take home so I could read and review, and they were gracious enough to do that. And actually, I read the issue and I liked it so much, I went back, I'm like, here, take my money, and put this on my pull list. So issue number 2 came out, and it was very good. I've liked the series so far. Two issues in, and it's got a pretty good story going on here. The only thing that's kind of worrying me right now is there's a lot of action in it, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. But sometimes it kind of makes me wonder, like, where's some story at? I need a little more story. I always need more story. Story is kind of what we're here for, right? It's not just the art. And sometimes when you get a combination of the two, that's when it's really nice, getting the art and the story together right at the same time. So far, the art is pretty good. The story is pretty good so far as well, so don't let me discount that, because this issue actually starts off with just like a background story about what's going on. Like the first issue, like the first half of it was going on and on. I'm like, man, this is really, there's some dialogue going on it, but you can tell, like, they're just, I believe it's Major X here, is just giving a backstory, kind of his time and where he's from and what was going on. So it was kind of cool to read that. I do kind of like the stories, like that, where they're describing kind of what's going on. You kind of get a feel for how the world is. And that's what we've got going on in this book. It's been really interesting so far. You learn kind of the history where Major X is coming from and exactly what he is doing in the current timeline to, help save not necessarily his future, but kind of his world, really, their existence, as it's all basically coming to an end. And so it's been really good so far. You should check out Major X. New issue, and it's written by Rob Liefeld, and I'm not exactly sure who that is, but apparently he is a legend in the field of writing comic books. It is a very, like I said, it's been a good story so far. I'm just waiting to see more story than action. Like I said, you need kind of a balance of the two, and it seems like we've gotten a lot of action and a little bit less story. And that's, like I said, that's by no means a bad thing. This is a bi-monthly mag, so there's basically an issue coming out every other week. Now, the artist on here is Brent Peoples is the penciler, Scott Hanna is the inker, and Romulo Fajardo Jr. is the color artist. The letterer is VC's Joe Sabino, and the cover artists are Rob Liefeld and Romulo Fajardo Jr. And I'm sorry if I butchered any of their names. I'm sure I probably butchered more than enough people's names. But Major X is definitely a good book. You might want to go check it out at your local comic shop. Like I said, it is a bi-monthly mag, so it does get to be a lot when you're having to buy an issue every other week. So, go try it out for a few issues and then maybe collect it on trades after that. That's probably what I'm going to do with, and that's what I am going to be doing with some of my current issues that I've been pulling. Like the Miles Morales Spider-Man, I think I'm going to start doing that on trades now, and the Captain Marvel series, while it has been good, don't let me discount any of them. They have been good, but like I said, bi-monthly mags get to be expensive. Captain Marvel's not a bi-monthly mag, but like I said, I just, you need to save money where you can. Okay, the next issue I want to talk about is Amazing Spider-Man number 19.HU. Now, this is the Hunted tie-in, and you can see there who they're talking about in this issue. Obviously, it's got Lizard, and you should see this issue like up close and in person. It is a beautiful, beautiful cover here. The Lizard looks amazing. Spider-Man, they really pop off the page on the cover on this book. But Amazing Spider-Man 19.HU, really good story here. In case you can't tell, it's about the Lizard. It's got his backstory on there. He's kind of telling, just about his past and his life. And I really like the story they got in this. He's talking, he's taking personal responsibility for bad things that have happened in his life and to his family, things that he has done and his regrets around it. And it's just a really great story. In this day and age, people wanting to take personal responsibility seems to be at a minimum. So reading this in these pages it was really nice it was really nice to read that story. And in case you haven't seen any of my reviews already, Nick Spencer has been doing an absolutely amazing job writing the Amazing Spider-Man, and you need to go out and read it. It's just good. There's nothing really else I can say about that. Now, this one was actually written by Nick Spencer. The penciler was Chris Bachalo. Now, it's got a lot of inkers in here. Wayne Foucher, Livesay, Jaime Mendoza, Victor Olazaba, Tim Townsend, Al Vey. The color artist was Eric Arciniega. I think I got that right. And VC's Joe Caramunga. And the cover artist was Greg Land and Frank D'Amarta. You can see there's a lot of people involved in this issue. But it is a great issue, very good issue. The past couple hunted tie-ins, the .hu issues, have been phenomenal. Check them out. Good stuff. You don't want to miss it. And like I said, I will be doing a review on these. I've got to get more of my Spider-Man comic book reviews. I got to get more of my comic book reviews up anyway, because I got to do the Black Order. Those issues were absolutely amazing, and definitely something you should check out. Now, the next one I want to talk about is War of the Realms. War of the Realms. This is issue number 2 that has come out, and this issue was really good. I actually just read this with my daughter earlier. I went through and I kind of read the narration. I do the guy voices, she does the girl voices. It's pretty cool. It's a fun time, reading with your kids is something you should do. Now, this issue was actually really good. The War of the Realms has kicked off. We're in issue number 2. It has been great. Okay, I gotta say, I wasn't for sure going into it how it was gonna be. Now, the thing is it's made me want to go get some of the tie-in issues.